Good evening, Stevens Point. I'm Nathan Wegner with this week's SPTV News Update. We start this week with some world news as India deals with a devastating second wave of COVID-19 infections. As of yesterday, over 386,000 new cases were reported and almost 3,500 deaths. Many people believe this sudden spike in cases to come from a few factors, including infections from one of the COVID-19 variants and a lack of precautions taken after early restrictions were lifted, though evidence on the exact nature of the outbreak remains inconclusive. Many are placing blame on India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, as he hosted large campaign rallies without any masking or social distancing requirements and allowed a large Hindu festival to occur without restriction, doing little to secure COVID-19 protection during this time. India's medical system is overwhelmed by this surge, with people struggling to find hospitals for their loved ones and struggling to find places to bury their loved ones if they have passed away, as both hospitals and crematoriums remain overwhelmed. Foreign aid is being provided by several countries to help relieve the stress on India's healthcare system, including the US, Japan, France, Germany, Ireland, Russia, and China. With some local COVID-19 news, over 1,000 cases of COVID variants have been discovered by state researchers. The Department of Health Services has tested a total of 10,959 COVID-19 samples for variants and have found 1,159 variants. There are currently 4 known variants that have been discovered in Wisconsin. Researchers say that these variants are more easily transmissible and spread more rapidly than the original strain of COVID-19, but also say that the currently approved vaccine should still work against the variants. As of this week, 45% of the Wisconsin population has received their first dose of the vaccine, and 34% is fully vaccinated. The Dunn County Humane Society is currently searching for the individual who shot and killed 15 cats and kittens in Springbrook Township in Wisconsin. According to the Humane Society, someone abandoned more than 30 cats on the side of a rural road with a big pile of cat food. That person or someone else then opened fire on the animals. The scene was initially discovered on April 27th. 18 cats survived and were rescued and are currently in the care of the Humane Society as they receive medical attention and will be placed up for adoption once their care is complete. The Humane Society is offering a $3,000 reward for any information about those responsible for the killing. Any information should be sent to the Dunn County Sheriff's Department. Holocaust education will be required in Wisconsin middle and high school social studies classes after Governor Tony Evers signed a bill on Wednesday. Under the new law, public schools, charter schools, and private schools in the voucher program must include instruction on the Holocaust and other genocides at least once between 5th and 8th grade and once in high school. It also requires the state superintendent to include the Holocaust and other genocides in academic standards for social studies and to develop model lessons and materials on the subject. Supporters of this bill pointed to a lack of knowledge about the scope of the Holocaust, as well as a 55% increase in anti-Semitic incidents between 2018 and 2019. Wisconsin is the 18th state to require Holocaust education. Following the conviction of Derek Chauvin and the release of body cam footage that showed more incidents of police violence towards people of color, the UWSP Black Student Union hosted a moment of silence in the DeBow Field. The Black Student Union invited everyone on campus to join them as they mourn the loss of black and brown lives lost to police brutality. They asked that everyone wear black in solidarity and required masks. Many students showed up to support the Black Student Union and their moment of silence.
For everybody who doesn't know, a moment of silence is a gathering to mourn and heal from the black and brown bodies that we have recently lost. We are going to start with reading off some of the names that we have lost in the past few weeks.
Dante Wright, say his name.
Dante Wright.
Say his name.
Dante Wright.
Micaiah Bryant, say her name.
Micaiah Bryant.
Say her name.
Micaiah Bryant.
Adam Toledo, say his name.
Adam Toledo.
Say his name.
Adam Toledo.
Mario Gonzalez, say his name.
Mario Gonzalez.
Say his name.
Mario Gonzalez.
I'm really proud of the turnout. We got a larger crowd than we expected, and that's just great. So glad to get our message out there, and hopefully everyone came and learned something today.
Put your voice where your memory is. You who swallowed the afternoon dust, defend everything you understand with words. You, if no one else, will condemn with your tongue the erosion each disappointment brings. You who saw the images of disgust growing will understand how time devours the destitute. You who gave yourself your own commandments know better than anyone why you turned your back on your town's toughest limits.
And as for the poems, Kaya, she wrote hers originally, so that was great. And then me and Jaden, we just picked 2 Black poets, and we just thought the messages were very powerful for what we were trying to accomplish today.
The same oblivion that muffles the Black voices while you shout louder, no justice, no peace, only to come back down from your salvation high to then say, I am here to listen. Is it hard being the great pretender? It was directly after the murder of Dante Wright, and I'm currently working on a poetry book, and when that spoke to me immediately, I had to get to my computer and start writing, because I recognized while flipping through Instagram, Snapchat, that people were not truthful, and when they said Black Lives Matter, or when they said no justice, no peace, it was a facade. I envy your ability to post an infographic, then return to your daily lives without the feeling of the world crashing upon you.
I see change happening every day, every year on this campus, through the students, through the staff. I think having a new chancellor, African-American chancellor at that, is just one step in the right direction, and I'm excited to see what's in store for UW Stevens Point.
I would like change to happen on campus, specifically in the faculty. I know that they're doing a lot of group work with art services. They're doing anti-racist theater work and the musical theater program, and I am so happy that they're taking that step to acknowledge racism in the workplace and learning how they can dismantle that. It's really, really powerful, and I hope we can have that happen all across the student body. If you're a Black student here on campus, feel free to reach out to BSU. We are always here to support you. And in terms of Black Lives Matter, this is not a sprint. Like I said before, this is a marathon. We all have to work together and support one another to keep this going, because we have to. We just have to.
The moment of silence took place earlier today, April 30th at noon. A story published by UWSP's Cornerstone Press has won a National Independent Press Award. Responsible Adults, written by Patricia Ann McNair, was recognized as a distinguished favorite in the short stories category. The story follows Midwestern town citizens who are fueled by grief, desire, loss, and hope, and asks what happens when responsible adults are anything but. The Independent Press Award competition looks at works from around the world and is judged by experts from the book industry. This is a big honor for the Cornerstone Press, as club advisor Ross Tangedell says. It is a testament not only to the talents of Patricia Ann McNair, but also to the skills and dedication of our student staff here in the university. And that's all the news we have for you at SPTV this week. Until next time, Stevens Point, stay safe and have a great night.